Hey folks, my name is Pravus and welcome to more After Ink Revival as we continue with our Mega Brutal Guide series. Let's move on to Mission 6, Infested Beauty. One of the first bunkers to be built, survivors knew it wouldn't last forever. There's no sign of zombies outside, but the stench of decay is mildly concerning. If you don't see any zombies outside, then you're just not paying attention because this map has quite a few zombies running around. This map is intended to teach you how to deal with zombie infestations, which you can think of as a zombie nest or a spawner. It's kind of a problem, especially on Mega Brutal difficulty level 5. In this case, though, it's not too different from what we've already seen. It just adds in an extra step in zombie extermination. But depending on what leaders we get, it might not be so bad. Okay. Well, Economist is the correct choice to go with here. Arctic Explorer we haven't played with yet, but he's very situational. He makes it cheaper to explore and claim territory during the winter only, but it's more expensive other times. Some maps this isn't so bad, and you can just kind of do rapid expansion every winter. But on Mega Brutal difficulty on most maps, you really need to do some early claiming and exploration as part of your objectives, and this just makes that harder. So I don't think he's a good choice. We've already done the Cub Scout, so no thank you. Let's go ahead and play with the Economist. As far as our trait, Brave is interesting because we do start with a fighter, and you do need one very early in this map. However, hardworking is just objectively better. Same starting resources, 3 stamina is the same as having a fighter because it's the same cost, and we get a building discount. 2 of them, actually. So that's just a better way to go. All right, Mega Brutal difficulty, Starbeck, let's begin. Let me show you what the map is going to look like. So it's actually quite generous for us. We do have a lot of food and lumber sources nearby, but you'll notice from these red patches, these are zombie infestations, places where the zombies are entrenched, and will occasionally spawn more zombies that will charge after you. You have to go to these territories, clear them out, and then spend extra stamina to begin a cleanse, which triggers another fight, kind of like an ambush mechanic from Rebel Inc., and then once that's dealt with, that gets rid of the infestation. So there's a lot of fighting in this scenario, and if you are not careful, you might find yourself getting overwhelmed. As far as our objectives, we do need to explore a marked area that's 2 zones away very quickly. We can't hold off on that. Then we need to cleanse that area, which is why we need to have an early fighter, and we need to produce 5 food. All of that has to be in quick succession. After that, we can reach population level 5, claim 5 zones, maintain 80% morale, cleanse several marked areas, and then eventually just get rid of literally all of them. So a lot of fighting toward the very end. If you can get up to pop 5 though, and then manage a stable economy, this isn't so bad. So let's go ahead and settle. We're going to start by exploring out over here. Then we're going to go for our standard lineup of 2 scavenges of wood. Let's get ourselves a well, get ourselves some food, and a basic toilet. And then I will get 1 tent. I may not be able to get more than that to start, but I think that's going to be fine. Now, since we started off as the Economist, I have a lot of my stamina up front. So I don't mind lining up a few things earlier here. We could go ahead and pick up the fighter right now, and I will. As soon as this is done exploring, we'll go ahead and move into this direction, so I don't need to explore anything else quite yet. Let's wait until this is done first. We will claim this zone, then we'll begin exploration here. We have 50 days to do this, so it's really not a lot of time to work with. Fire pit would be good, but we can go ahead and do another quick well because we know we're going to need it. The grain field is free, so we'll pick that one up. Can't do any wood because we haven't got any forests claimed yet, so we'll come back to that in just a moment. Here comes the exploration, and done. So there's our first round of zombie spawning. So we could rush in here. We'll have to fight multiple times. At level 1 technology, this is going to be a little bit hard to deal with. It would make sense to go ahead and explore some nearby regions first, and then try to get to tech level 2. Now, that might be a little bit aggressive to go for, but I'm going to try for it. Let's also go ahead and pick up the fire pit so we can start working on a little bit of extra morale. Since we're going to have a second population here pretty soon, I do need to claim this forested area, get ourselves a lumber yard for relatively cheap, and of course we can get ourselves a firewood splitter, just to make sure we're getting prepared for winter. I'm not going to spend the rest of my stamina though. We're going to hold on to it as the Economist. You always want to have a small bank sitting around, otherwise you can't react if there is an emergency situation. Now, simply by moving my fighters here, we have antagonized the zombies, so they're going to run in here and go ahead and fight. This is where the extra technology is nice, because our fighters end up being a decent amount stronger. We can actually go ahead and pick up another shack. If we're already at Tech 2, I don't mind doing this now. We could pick up the makeshift kitchen early. It's not strictly necessary right now, but we're gonna need it. If you play as the soldier in this map, it actually ends up being pretty strong, because these zombies infestations usually send small groups that are easily flanked, so it's really not that bad to deal with, but oh well, we're not gonna worry about it right now. Let's go ahead and move you in over here since we have a nearby claimed area and we're tech level 2. I think we can deal with this. This will trigger an attack, so we have to deal with this first. Having another fighter would be nice, and I could consider doing that under other circumstances, but I'm not going to. If you find yourself really struggling here, what you can do is explore the other nearby region. Having that extra intel usually is going to be enough to actually give you a small combat advantage. Now the problem is, I'm really low on my health. What I'd like to do is spend 1 stamina to begin a cleansing operation. This triggers 1 more fight. The question is, can I beat it? I think we can. 17 strength versus 11. As long as we don't lose too many fighters, we'll be fine. Let's go ahead and pick this up. We have 17 more of our stamina to work with. I'm going to go ahead and pick up a well here. Let's go ahead and get some additional food and some storage going. And we'll go ahead and get ourselves some additional firewood splitters and an additional lumber yard. So that's going to take care of some immediate needs. We're going to win this fight, I'm pretty sure. There we go. And the infestation is now dealt with. Boom, done. We're going to finish our next objective. Over here, losing morale does suck. That is a lot of grain production, but I'm going to take a very easy path here because eventually morale is going to be important for us. So we're going to try not to deal with that. Do we need to spend extra food to get more build teams? I don't really need more build teams, honestly. We're completely fine with what I've got. So let's just ignore that for the moment. That takes care of that. Now we need to produce 5 food. So we should be producing a decent amount of food, especially once we have some storage here, so I don't feel worried about that quite yet. We could get ourselves another kitchen. They really want a town square. I'll do this. Let's make sure we have enough stamina by the time that winter comes, though, because I'm going to need to do some scavenging. We already know that that is the case. We could consider exploring this region down here, trying to claim it and get a little bit more firewood splitting going. I don't know. That's an option for us. It depends. Do we think we're going to have some stamina probably 1 month into winter? Maybe thereabouts. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable doing that right now. Now we need to get up to pop 5. So we can go ahead and queue up 2 shacks, which is going to put a little bit of pressure on us, but hopefully it ends up being okay. We don't have enough in the wood production field. We're not going to have a lot in the way of food either. I'm a little nervous about some of that. Let's go ahead and begin the scavenging for some fuel, though, because we know we're going to need that in just a bit. We don't have enough fuel, and winter is almost here. Winter is pretty rough. What I find, though, in this particular map is if you can get a really strong economy, then you're just in a situation where you're progressively moving across the map and killing zombies. Like, this is the hard part, getting to pop 5 and then sustaining it successfully. If you can do that, though, it's really not that bad. We need to get a little bit more food scavenging. I think we'll do that once. We'll go ahead and do a little bit more of the fuel scavenging, and then let's go ahead and claim this region. We're about to get some more stamina, so I'm not in any danger right now. We did get a surprise attack from some zombies. That does happen periodically, because as these infestations spawn small groups, they will come charging after you. We'll go ahead and give up some fluids. Water's not really our big threat at this point. We've got our stamina. Let's go ahead and get ourselves another firewood splitter. Let's get ourselves another lumber yard, and we do need more water. Whoa, okay. For some reason, we're completely out. I know we just had an event, but we should be able to outproduce that before it becomes a huge morale drain, right? I think so, probably. Skilled workers are underappreciated. Well, this is kind of a weird one. Morale is nice, but all resource production going down is awful. I'm willing to sacrifice some authority in order to reduce our service consumption, because that should mean that morale stays nice and high for at least a bit. I think that's going to end up being worth it for me in the long run. We are going to increase some more storage for both of these things here, get a couple more firewood splitters. I'm going to get another lumber yard, and then I'm going to go for probably another basic toilet, because I need to make sure that we keep our morale high. It is currently dropping a little bit. We have the wild dogs, but the good news is we do have a fighter, so we can go ahead and send this in. We lost 29% health. Not enough to kill the fighter, but dangerously close. I didn't think of that. But that could have been really, really bad had that happened. Okay. Anyway, the reason I'm getting a lot of lumber production here is I do find on this map that I often expand so quickly trying to get up to pop 5 that I really struggle having enough lumber to continue with all of my structures. We're going to need another makeshift fire pit, so let's go ahead and do that. We have 1 month remaining and not a lot of fuel. I think we're barely going to make it through this. We're going to run out of fuel before winter, but not before I think we're going to lose a pop. so we should be okay. And we're about to hit that pop 5 level. Time to stop and think. Morale increase. That was a random event. That's just nice. I'm not going to worry about that too much. Could go for another level of tech. Could go for another fighter. Instead, I'm going to go for another makeshift kitchen just to offset the morale damage a little bit. We're about to get another round of stamina, and our morale now ticks up, so we're not going to lose a population, so we are fine. Waiting for that pop 5. It should be here very, very soon. We can lose a little bit of food. We're actually okay on that front. Let's go ahead and scavenge a couple of other areas down to the southeast and to the north, because now that we have a very large population, I definitely need some more food, and I know both of these territories are going to have that for me. Let's go ahead and get a couple levels to the Hunter's Lodge up over there. That takes care of all of this. So we have our 5 population. We already claimed 5 zones, so we just skipped a step. Now we need to maintain 80% morale, which normally would be pretty difficult for us, but I actually think we're going to be fine. We do need to get to the next level of tech, though. That's important, because right now what you'll have noticed is that our people are saying they want things like taverns and bathhouses, and that's what's dragging me down. Once you do get up to pop 5, the demands really do start to go up quite a lot. So we need to have that. I'm going to do a quick scavenge of some food. I hopefully won't need it, but the problem is we're kind of already losing a lot of morale from that. So anything that speeds that along right now would be good. We'll claim this region over here. Of course, get ourselves a couple more grain fields, so we have lots of food production going on over there. All right, morale should start going back up now. Now that we have tech, we can move on to getting a bathhouse and a tavern. That's going to increase our consumption of a lot of things, but morale should start shooting up, and now I shouldn't have any issues going up to 80%. So now we need to start thinking about our next objectives, which is basically killing all of the zombies. So since we're at the next level of tech, what I'll go ahead and do is start training up another fighter. We're going to need 2. And I also need to start doing some exploration, starting up here in the northeast and then sweeping down around to the south. That's my idea. I also want to make sure I have lots of storage before the next winter hits, because we're going to end up needing it. I should be able to produce plenty of firewood and plenty of food if I just keep investing in that. So as long as we have a large stockpile from here on out, I should be able to largely ignore the winter. At least that would be the idea. Let's go ahead and explore up over there. Am I actually at a limit anywhere? Yeah, I'm already capped out here on my... I'm already capped out on my fuel, so we'll build a couple of storages there, get a couple more of the fire pits, get some storage here, get some more grain fields. We'll do that twice, actually, and that should be enough. So, okay, we're going to have 2 fighters. We're going to start exploring these regions. That's not a lot, mind you, of extra stamina to continue exploring, but it's enough to at least get to this zone over here, and then we can at least move forward with our quest so we don't have any impatience burning us down. So once we deal with these zombies here, we'll start exploring this region. There's a road to follow along in this direction, so it's relatively cheap to do. I do want to claim this region. It's more food, and also I just think in general it's probably a good idea. We'll send a lot of water here. We should have plenty, I think. Barely. Hang on, how are we doing as far as water production? Yeah, we're producing plenty. I'm not worried at all. Another storage here for some food would be good. Another storage for some fuel would be good. Yes, that's using up a lot of my stamina, I'm aware, but let's just go ahead and try for it. Let's explore this region. So we're coming close to winter, but we're going to have a lot of resources to work with. Now, this is the risky thing. So this is what just happened here, is both of these just suddenly spawned a bunch of zombies, and they all ran in here because they detected me. I am way too weak. We need to pull back. Cannot fight that at all. Pull back, for God's sake. They're going to run in here, but at least now, in theory, we can have some fighting here. I know we're under attack in this direction. I just need to see us kill a few zombies in this direction over here if we can, while I have reinforcements. Otherwise, we're really going to struggle here. There we go. Okay, with those going down, let's run down here before we lose this zone. Yeah, this is where Mega Brutal 5 genuinely becomes very difficult, because you're going to get attacked by these zombies very, very frequently. And if you are not ready to relocate with these guys, with your fighters quickly, you're going to struggle. So let's go ahead and move over here. We're going to take this region. I want to explore over here, and I want to explore over here, and I want to explore over here. Because I'm basically trying to get a good amount of intelligence around this region, so I have a combat advantage, because they're going to keep trickling some zombies in this direction, and I need to have every little bit of extra help that I can get. We just got some extra stamina production, by the way. That's kind of unusual to get, but it's not a bad thing. That's perfectly fine. It just doesn't pair up as nicely with the economist. So right here, do we think we could go ahead and begin a cleanse? It would be easiest if I wait for the exploration, but I think we're okay. Let's begin the cleanse. Now, because we made some noise, this has spawned some more zombies, and they're going to run in here. So you really want to deal with this first before the reinforcements arrive, which we did, so we're good. We've now completed the objective before impatience kicked in, so now we have to kill all zombie infestations. There's 1 left here, and there's 3 down in this general direction. So we're going to explore and then claim a lot of territory, gradually moving forward and being very, very careful. My biggest issue is that all of my fighters are currently injured, so they're going to really struggle here. All right, authority went up because we've explored a lot of regions. That's fine. We'll fight over this. That's going to be great. Nice cleanse. If you're struggling, it is A-okay to go for Tech 4 if you have enough resources to go around. Right now, I've actually got, shockingly, a pretty good amount of food and a pretty good amount of fuel, and winter is literally ending now. So let's go ahead and begin Tech Level 4. That means my fighters will be a little bit stronger at a time that I need. We've cleared this out. Let's go ahead and explore here, here, and here, and that should be just about all we need. If we don't want to claim any more territory, that's completely fine, but it would be helpful if we did. Let's go for some improved housing, get that tech, boom. We'll get some fruit production, but it doesn't matter too much to me. Did I lose a pop? Why does it say I have 5 out of 4, 1 in progress? I must have lost a pop somewhere I didn't notice as my food went down. Interesting. We did discover medicine, by the way. Medicine is clearly supposed to be useful in this resource because, well, it's going to make it so that you can reinforce your fighters a lot faster. So that is a thing we could do. I don't think I strictly need it, though, so we're not going to worry about it. Let's go ahead and claim this territory. It's very, very expensive. This is going to draw a few more zombies in over this direction. We want to clear them out first. Then we will deal with these one at a time, starting up over here so we don't get reinforced by 2 different zones, and then slowly pick them off. That's what I'm going for. Yeah, I did lose some pop. I'm not sure what happened there, but okay. A fighter upgrade. Well, this is nice. Fighter healing speed going up would be good. Fighting in claimed areas is nice, but it's not what I need when we are taking these cleansing zones, so that wouldn't do me a lot of good. So let's just go ahead and do this fight. Yeah, the extra healing could actually end up being very, very nice for us. We'll go ahead and begin a quick cleanse there. Should be okay, I think. We've now become a town as we have expanded so much. The big issue is we're not reinforcing, but now that's dealt with. Let's go ahead and move down over here. An exploration right here will help with the final fight. So we'll go ahead and do some reinforcements, make sure these guys are nice and strong. I didn't really explain that. If you are fighting over here and you have reinforcing armies, you can spend some stamina to send some of their health and move them to the front line. If you're not going to be flanked, that actually can end up being very, very helpful for you, just to make sure that you have enough strength to finish this off. This fight is proving to be a little tougher than I expected, but okay. Fighting in mountain areas, fighter train speed, movement speed, none of this is actually helpful to me. We'll take the movement speed, I guess. I need to do a cleanse. I'm a little worried that this is going to end up being too strong. 40 strength versus 20. We should be able to fight that. Okay, we're good. Let's go ahead and claim this area, move forward again, and we're going to try to just go ahead and win this now. If I can win this now, we can just go ahead and make this quick. It shouldn't be very many zombies. They only spawn at like 10 strength. There we go. So by finishing that, we have now completed the level. Not that bad, honestly. I think this level is about the same difficulty, maybe a little bit easier than the last one. Getting 5 stars can be a little bit difficult. You have to move very fast. But honestly, once you get up to pop 5, you have a pretty decent amount of time. You have like 500 days before your impatience kicks in. So that's enough time to make sure you have a really strong economy. Once you're up to like Tech 3, you've got enough production to do that. Then it's just a matter of systematically moving through the map, and you barely even have to worry about winter as long as you have enough storage. Not too bad, but from here on out, we're going to have to combine everything we've learned, and it's going to get harder and harder. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If so, I'd ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.